Hey everybody, welcome back to another badass I don't know why I fucking did that. Another cool guy episode of the Rewind and Reload. I almost said the other podcast me and Quentin used to do. Um,
Join Pikachu, Ash, and the gang. The Mandalorian is great in the new series, and let's check out what's new in the world of pop culture with your hosts John, Tim, and Quentin, and a podcast we call Rewind
and Reload.
this week, I think it's already kind of we always make this joke every fucking week. Ooh, you read the title, you know what we're talking about, but before we talk about it, I'm Tim. I'm gonna be your host this week, and this is John and Quentin.
Whoa. I waved, and I don't know why.
I was going to say, I saw that. I was like, we're not recording our webcams today.
Guys.
It's fine. So, how was you guys this week? And I'll talk about mine, because probably the least interesting.
I spent entirely too much money on Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Nice. I don't want to talk about it, but...
Yeah, I heard that you also convinced someone else to do it, so that was...
Yeah. See, if I'm going down, somebody else is going down with me.
Fair enough.
But I'm back into the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG full swing. Gonna start playing in remote duels, because I don't even have to leave my house. I just fucking play on a webcam. Like, that's amazing.
It'll be like the IRL streamers on Twitch who do, like, unboxings where you only see their hands.
That's fine.
Just
Nobody needs to know what I look like.
your just get a mic arm, but not for your mic, and just like attach your webcam to it and hover it over your desk.
I actually thought about it, because I was like, I don't really know how to get like the angle correct.
I actually have one. I literally bought one so that I could do like YouTube easier.
Close up magic trick. Just
YouTube
the
videos. Arm, not to do magic tricks, but I do have the boom arm for it to get better angles, because my office is shaped weird.
You know,
Just looks like a normal office, but okay.
No, like where my for camera angles, it's shaped weird. Sorry.
Fair enough.
Whatever. But
You got to ride that high of getting almost 100 views on one of your videos I saw.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gone past that yet.
I don't know. I think it might have been past.
Oh, he knows.
I'm not 100. I have not looked.
Oh,
I promise.
He knows the exact numbers to let him fool you.
No, I don't. I could look, but I haven't posted.
No, I mean, I could look too, but I'm not.
I haven't posted for like a month because of just life shit. But I'm planning on recording one like tomorrow and posting it. So we'll see.
YouTube's loading very slowly, or else I would check.
Oh, also, I'm getting 5G tomorrow.
Ooh,
it's pretty exciting.
Ooh, you're gonna get brain cancer.
Yeah, dude, I'm just gonna fucking.
I don't know
explode.
what 5G gives you.
But
oh no, I'm talking about my COVID shot.
Oh, mine's next month. My first one.
Yeah, dude, that's what everybody was saying. Like, they couldn't get it for like another month, and I was just like, I got fucking lucky, dude. It was literally like a week after I tried to make an appointment. They're like, all right, yeah, come in. I was like, all right, tight.
Me and Carly get ours on our second one on May 1st.
Yeah, I don't get my first one until May 6th or May 5th.
With her being in education and then me being a first responder, we were able to jump on the
that's fair
wagon a little quicker.
Yeah, see, I had to wait until the 31st of last month to even register. So
same.
It's dumb. The people that are going to be out more.
Thanks for that one, Eric.
Eric.
How was your week, John?
Not too bad. I tried streaming on Twitch last night, and it was okay. But, you know.
I thought about it. It's funny that you say that, because I was thinking about doing it, and then I was like, I spent entirely too much time playing with OBS.
Yeah, I started doing it on the Xbox because you can do it off your Xbox. Because once I build a PC, I want to start streaming like more. I wanted to give it a try, so I think I might try to do that like once a week. Get on for a couple hours. I was playing Outlast, and I think I might just start playing that first. Start playing like horror games.
That's a game with Wiener in it. You can stream on Twitch.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah! But besides that, I got a new job. I don't know if I told you guys, but yeah. So I don't know if I told it on the podcast, but I think I told you guys my job currently. They're moving the whole department to Ohio, and I don't want to move to Ohio since a lot of people know that I just bought a house. So I thought I was going to lose my job for a minute there, but yeah, I start a new job not tomorrow, or not Monday, but next Monday. So stay employed.
For the same company or a different company?
Different company. I'm going to be over at Task Force, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm pumped.
Nice.
Yeah, all I did this week was play video games and sleep. That's it. I bought an AeroPress though, so that's fun. We'll see how that goes.
What is that exactly?
Yeah.
See, it sounds like a sex toy, but it's not.
It
looks like one too.
To me, it sounds like something you might sleep on. Honestly.
No.
Okay.
It's something you use to make coffee.
Oh, the press.
It's one of those tubes that you put the coffee in the tube, and then like it uses pressure to.
Oh, like a French press.
Yes, but like super like pressure because it's like rubber sealed.
Okay.
And then it like pushes it through all the water through the coffee.
So you get like super coffee.
Yeah, it makes like espresso strength thing, and so you have to like put more water in it to like dilute it down to like American coffee.
Jesus.
Don't put more water in.
Let's do espresso all the way.
I've watched like 3 videos of like the 80-year-old man who invented this thing. Like using it. He's also the guy who invented like, you know, the like frisbees that are just the ring.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's the same guy. He's the same guy who invented those.
Wow.
But he was like, "Oh, I want an easy way to make coffee." So he invented this thing. He's like, "Yeah, it's pretty good." So he just started selling that too.
What a mind! What a mind!
How do you go from frisbees to that?
Man wanted a cup of coffee, John. I don't know. I was up at 3 a.m. I was like, "Yeah, fuck it. I'll just spend $30 on an AeroPress. Why not?"
It's not a bad price.
No, that's for a French press. No. Like that's like for a high-tech French press. Like that's a great price.
I have a French press already, but I'm just like, it was a cheap French press, and it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll give this a try. Seems less messy.
I used to always get grounds and shit when I did the French press, like in the water part.
See, you get the sludge a lot if your filter's not really good. And mine's not, so we'll see. There's not a lot of news this week to get into, really.
No, not at all.
The new Mortal Kombat movie comes out next week, I guess, and it looks corny as fuck.
I mean, it's a Mortal Kombat movie. So.
I'm excited because I feel like it's just corny enough to keep up with the games because there's a level of humor in the games, like.
That's
fair. Over exaggeration of like the fatalities and the stupid quips when you go into a fight. So like I think it's just corny enough to keep up with that. And it's got to be better than the other ones. It has to be.
I mean, I don't know. The first one's pretty corny too.
Well, I'm hoping
Shang Tsung just says perfect victory every time, even though it's our flawless victory, even though it's not.
Yeah, in the last battle where he gets hit like multiple times, he's like, flawless victory. It's like, what? No.
It's not what happened.
And then they had Scorpion saying, like, get over here a bunch, and then out of nowhere, he's fighting Johnny Cage, and Johnny Cage gets up high, and he just goes, get down here. It's like, that's not the
Johnny
line.
Cage does the thing with his autograph. That's like a decent part of that movie.
That was actually a pretty good like little a little Easter egg in that movie.
Godzilla vs. Kong came out this week. I think I'm probably the only one who's watched it yet so far.
I need to catch up. I need to catch up on the other ones. I don't want to watch it before I watch.
No, you don't. No, you fucking don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel
watch
like you really
watch
don't
like
need to.
the 2015 Godzilla, and then like Godzilla. Or not even Godzilla. Kong Skull Island is apparently pretty good, but Godzilla King of the Monsters is
I really want to see Skull
Bro,
Island
it's a
because I haven't
fucking
yet.
Godzilla versus King Kong movie. Like, what backstory do you need? Monkey
Yeah.
mad?
Monkey Mad. They don't really bring up the other two movies. Like,
Really?
or three movies. They kind of bring up Kong's. I always call it Skong Skull Island. I fucking keep doing it.
Skong Island.
But no,
Dong Island.
they just don't fucking talk about it ever. Like, there's like one reference like the storm from the beginning of the second Godzilla movie, and that's it. Fucking stupid.
Okay.
The movie's not good in my opinion, but it's worth watching. I think I gave it a 2, maybe out of 5.
Really?
Yeah, it's fucking boring as shit. There's like 20 to 30 minutes of good stuff in there, and then
Is it all fight scenes that are the good stuff, or is there other?
yes. And I know Quentin saw it, that I retweeted this tweet from Elon Musk where he's like, the movie's like a love letter to conspiracy theorists and shit like that. I was like, man, fuck off. Just because they talk about Hollow Earth.
Do they really talk about Hollow Earth?
Yeah, that's where the Titans come from, buddy.
No, that's where the mole people come from, Tim.
That's where the ancient aliens are living now. And that's why those guys in World War II, who I don't want to say the name of, tried to go to Antarctica. That's why, right? Just because the Hollow Earth entrance is in Antarctica.
I actually believe the Earth is not only hollow but also flat.
What's that impossible shape that wraps around itself?
Oh.
The Earth is one of those.
So, does the movie talk about ancient aliens in the center of the Earth, or is that just something you said? Because
they definitely talk about like there being a race of monsters and stuff that live in the Hollow Earth.
Okay, because if there's aliens down there, we could totally wrap this into the Indiana Jones franchise.
Oh God.
I'm just saying, if they want to diversify.
I don't want them to. Because these movies, both franchises are doo-doo dog shit.
Did you see the director of Pacific Rim said that he would love for them to put
Godzilla or something?
Like put Godzilla and Kong and the kaijus and the what are the Jaggers? No. Jaegers. Jaegers. Into like one big like battle royale thing. He's like totally down for that. I'm like, that is just too much for one movie.
Super Smash Bros. Of big monsters.
That's just Destroy All Monsters, but in Final Wars? Question mark?
Definitely
Anyway.
Destroy All Monsters. That was
not a good movie either. There's, like I said, there's not a lot of news. We lost DMX this week. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that.
yeah.
Gonna give it to you.
That's
DMX.
We lost him and the husk of a man that was Prince Andrew on the same day.
dude. The Prince Philip thing, I get it. Like,
Philip, right?
yeah,
Andrew's the son.
for people that like
The
lived,
one that
the people that lived in England, I could see if they were upset because that was like part of their monarchy.
Yeah.
But like, there's so many people in America on TikTok and Instagram like crying and shit about him dying. It's like, what part of him? I just don't get it.
I woke up and saw 2 like Google News notifications and I was like, all right, cool. And I rolled over and went back to sleep.
He was 99.
Nobody's talking about how hard it is on the Queen, dude. She lost a husband and a cousin all in one day.
She didn't give a fuck. She was wanting him to die anyways.
Dude,
John, I think you're glossing over the fact that they were cousins.
Hey,
So is most of the European royalty.
Yeah,
so.
like it's royalty that doesn't really shock me.
So that makes it okay?
No, it doesn't make it. No,
of course it doesn't make it okay.
No.
It's just something that happens.
It's just I just glossed over it because it's not a shocking fact.
God, that's just fucked to me.
Yeah, no, it's fucked up, but like it's definitely like their thing. They gotta stay
Every
pure,
day,
right?
I wake up, I eat my fucking beans on toast, and I salute my incestuous monarchy.
Yes, that's been Britain for hundreds of years.
That's weird to me.
Except sometimes they don't eat.
Sometimes you get sick of beans and toast.
Sometimes you can't even go outside because the air sucks so bad.
Alright, I don't think we're in any position to make fun of any other
No,
countries.
we're not.
No.
We should
No.
stop while we're behind.
The only reason we can make fun of them is because they're kind of
Because we won, baby, 1776.
Hell yeah, baby. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. DMX, I think, was a more upsetting fact, hearing that after the Prince Philip thing.
Yeah, I don't really like his rap persona, but he seems like a decent guy outside of that.
Yeah.
Rip DMX, without you, we would have never had Death Grips.
That's true.
Yeah.
So,
Besides that,
that's all the
I don't
music.
know.
Yeah, I don't think there's really anything happened in the last 2 weeks. So let's hit a bad real quick, and then we'll get into the topic. And we're back. This week, I didn't do my cold open. Fuck. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to. We're doing Star Wars. I was gonna do the Sand monologue, but Quentin hates it, and it's a fucking stupid meme anyway. So we're just not gonna do it. We're talking about we're talking about the Star Wars prequel trilogy. So this will be a fun ride for all of us, I think, because these movies were basically our childhood.
I would say they're
our
not
parents
the
had the
worst.
good ones. Yes.
I wouldn't say they're the worst, but
I think the Skywalker trilogy is probably the weakest of the bunch.
At least these prequels all felt like Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the Skywalker films did not feel like Star Wars movies.
No. They felt, I don't know. They just didn't feel like Star Wars movies.
It's kind of sad when, like, The Mandalorian felt more, like, in the same universe than the movies that just came out. Like, I felt more into Star Wars when I was watching Mandalorian than any of the Skywalker trilogy.
See, I think that's because, well, Jon Favreau has a lot to do with it. I think the best of the well, I don't think he did. That was, what's his name? The guy who made the... Shit.
Jon
The Last
Favreau
Jedi?
had some good
That's the
stuff
second one,
with
right?
Mandalorian. I don't know about the other ones, though.
No, I don't think he had anything to do with the movies, but the guy who made The Last Jedi, that movie's okay. It's like the highest of the three, because The Force Awakens is just kind of A New Hope, but in 2016. I don't know if that's the right year.
Yeah, they just copied the script, really. Made new characters.
Yeah. But I'll be up front. I think the prequel trilogy has probably aged less than gracefully. There's a lot in these movies that's kind of questionable.
Yoda flipping a bunch.
Yoda flipping a bunch. We'll talk. Yeah. There's this Jedi feeling less like samurai and more like
Ninjas.
kung fu movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, ninjas. That's a good. There's also some like really cool shit in these movies, I think, which I'll talk about both sides. I'm gonna try and give a brief as I can overview of the plot of each movie. I'm gonna try and do it from memory. I might have to peek at Wikipedia. We'll see, or the Wikipedia, and not follow links down a terrible rabbit hole like I talked about last episode.
Yeah.
So for those who aren't aware, I guess, which is probably, I hope no one, but maybe. Star Wars is a series of films originally written and directed by George Lucas, starting with A New Hope in 1977. the franchise grew to massive popularity as more films were released. I spent most of my life, and by that I mean 25 years of my life, thinking Star Wars: A New Hope was like a indie movie. It's not.
It's not.
That movie cost $11 million to make, and it's still. I mean, it was 77, but like, there's still things in that movie where you're like, oh, that's kind of bad by today's standards. Which is, they did their best.
They did what they could.
I did appreciate the use of like puppetry and stuff in the movies, and I'm glad
No,
that they're
we'll talk about that.
And they're like using it again, like, or keeping up with it, which is nice.
Sure. With Baby Yoda, they brought it back with that thing with Jabba's little gremlin creature.
Yeah.
In The Mandalorian Episode 1.
So that's like kind of cool. Like that. Like it never like. Sometimes it didn't look great, but like it was definitely something that made it very unique.
Yeah. I'll talk a little bit about their treatment of puppetry during the second movie. So the first stop is The Phantom Menace in 1999. This movie starts with Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn, his Padawan, I almost said his Padme, his Padawan, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think they're helping the negotiations between Naboo and the Trade Federation, who are these people who are like trying to advocate for fair trade, which is, why is that a bad thing? But the Trade Federation's also like very stereotypically Asian, like the voices they use.
Oh.
And it's like, I don't know about this one, George.
I don't know about this one.
There's a whole bunch of like political stuff, and then they go to a desert planet and find a kid. Well, they go to a desert planet because their ship breaks down. They got to get a new hyperdrive. During this, they meet a kid who's a slave. Let's just get out in front of that one. There's slavery in these movies. Even the character Padme, the Queen's Handmaiden, is like, I thought slavery was illegal in the Galactic Republic. They don't care. They don't care on the Outer Rims. They'll still do it.
It's a whole different. I was gonna say it's a whole different world, but I mean, like, yeah.
It's like the Wild West of the galaxy. And they meet this kid, and he's a technical genius. There's a pod racing scene where Qui-Gon bets for hyperdrive and the freedom of the kid, Anakin Skywalker, who is a virgin birth. We find out later.
Yes, that's right. He is Jesus.
There's a bit later on where I'll talk about themes and more about the virgin birth of Anakin Skywalker. But I don't know. Like I said, there's just some stuff in this movie, man. Then there's a whole bunch of, I forgot about Jar Jar Binks. Holy fuck.
How could you forget about Jar Jar?
They meet Jar Jar in like Act 1 of the movie. And if you guys look at the bottom of the dock, there's a pretty good picture of Ahmed Best? I think that's his name. Yes. The guy who played Jar Jar had to wear this fucking stupid costume on set for no good reason. Because they just CG'd over him anyway.
Yeah.
And there's like on set stills of people like looking him in, not even in his eyes, in the Jar Jar eyes. Because they had to.
Why?
They meet him. He's kind of a racial stereotype of, well, his voice is anyway. Even if this isn't like some fake like 2021 like woke shit, even critics at the time were like, this is weird, isn't it?
This is weird. I don't like this.
Like, why is he talking like Jamaican and like a Jamaican accent?
I mean, at least they didn't have white dude play him, I guess. I don't know if that makes it like better or worse. Like,
I I don't know, but I think George Lucas has a fucking weird mind
Yeah.
that I can't begin to understand. There's a whole bunch of... It's been so long since I've seen this movie, but there's like a whole bunch of... They go back to Naboo. There's a battle because the Trade Federation has blockaded Naboo. And the Sith Lord Darth Maul has come to kill Qui-Gon? Or the kid? I don't remember.
Qui-Gon.
Well, he kills Qui-Gon, but I don't remember if he's originally there for Anakin.
I don't think was to kill Anakin, no.
Was it to kill Padme?
I think it was to kill Padme.
Yeah, I think
That
so.
sounds right. That's probably true. Even though the long game of and I think he's elected Chancellor at the end of this movie. The long game of Palpatine like makes no sense if you look at it and the way it's presented it chronologically.
No.
So, there's a blockade, and then Qui-Gon fights Darth Maul, who's probably one of the cooler characters in the entire trilogy. Dies. Obi-Wan kills Darth Maul. Anakin breaks the blockade because he's a fucking wunderkind, I guess. He does like a spin because that's a cool trick.
It was a pretty sick spin.
Dude, now this is pod racing.
This is pod racing.
And then there's like a big... What?
I was just going to say, didn't Obi-Wan not technically kill Darth Vader? Because doesn't he come back later in the Clone Wars, animated?
Sorry, Darth Vader?
Oh my god, sorry, Darth Maul. Oh my god.
No, he doesn't technically kill him. He cuts him in half and he falls down this big chute.
And he gets spider legs,
and
right?
apparently he
implied.
catches... Yeah, he catches the side of it and survives in canon. So... He does come back during the either Rebels or Clone Wars, one of those two shows. I think both.
But Qui-Gon can't fucking survive. The coolest character.
No.
In the
His ghost
movie.
comes back in the Clone Wars series, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
I guess I didn't say that he's played by Liam Neeson, who got done dirty. Because I think they were talking about having Qui-Gon in multiple movies, and then George was like, oh, he's actually going to die.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Qui-Gon deserves so much more than what he got.
Yeah, honestly. He's like a fucking bad boy. He's like the only Jedi who's like, this shit's fucked and we need to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
All the rest of the Jedi in these movies are like, we're just going to sit on our hands and hope for the best.
Fucking ridiculous.
The only other one is like Count Dooku, and he leaves the Jedi Order for that reason, but we'll get to that. And then... there's a big the blockade's broken. There's a big ceremony. Senator Palpatine is elected High Chancellor Palpatine, and it leads into the next movie. There's also a weird romance subplot between a 9-year-old and a 14-year-old, and I don't know how I feel about that one.
And they don't really look like Padme doesn't look 14.
No, she looks fucking 18. But
Anakin Skywalker's actor definitely
looks like a fucking child.
Yeah, he looks like he's like 8 or 9. So that romance made it weird. Like knowing the ages, it's like it's still weird, but it's like at least a little closer. But I thought it was a big age gap. Like,
well, I think that's because Jake Lloyd was legitimately 9 in that movie.
Yeah, I thought like he was like 8 and she was like 18 to 20 years old.
I was
he was 10 during
16
filming.
to 20.
Yeah.
He was 10 during the filming of that movie. So, like, and she was... 18.
Yeah, see,
so,
that would be weird.
It's fucking weird on, like, rewatching it, where he's, like, he's, like, 9 years old, and he's, like, trying to mac on this fucking full-on adult, and I'm like... I understand what the character's age is supposed to be, but it's still fucking weird. And it only gets weirder in the next movie, but I'll talk a little bit about the making of this movie first. This trilogy almost didn't get made. Because after the original 3, Lucas was like, the popularity's probably going to die down. And I want to work on other stuff. And then, like, expanded universe content was coming out, like the Dark Horse comics and Timothy Zane's novels, And Lucas saw the popularity of these, and he was like, okay, I'll make another few movies. Because he was already thinking so that far forward, like in Empire, of like he wrote this huge backstory for the movies I was reading. Like the Clone Wars were originally something completely different, and I'll talk about that later. But yeah, so he was thinking ahead, and he was like, I don't know, maybe I won't make these movies. And then he saw the money was coming in for other people, and he's like, we're gonna make these movies.
We're doing this. Yeah, see, but the only difference between those movies and those things that were being made is the movies weren't good. Those books and stuff, those were great.
Good. Yes, and now they're not canon because of Disney.
Yeah, it's another fun thing.
The canon to not canon stuff gets so... It's so hard to keep up with.
You got to look at the Wikipedia and be like, oh, is this Legends canon or accepted regular canon?
Yeah, you have to Google it.
Basically, yeah. Lucas also didn't want to direct these movies personally. He approached, according to Ron Howard, he, Robert Zemeckis, and Steven Spielberg were all approached by George to see if they had any interest in doing it. But they were all kind of intimidated and said it was too daunting and that George should just do it himself because clearly he had his own vision for the movies.
So he was like, I want you to do this movie specifically the way I want you to do the movie, but I don't want to do it
Yeah,
myself.
he was like, I'm going to write and produce it, but I want you to direct it. And they were like, no, we're not doing that. Even Steven Spielberg, who was like one of his like really close people he worked really close with, was like, get the fuck out of here with that. There's a lot here for production about this movie specifically, and some of it like I've gleaned from another podcast I've been listening to about like this trilogy specifically. But there's a lot of good shit. Like there's a documentary called The Beginning, which was the original subtitle of episode 1. Where it's like the behind the scenes stuff. I think it's only on YouTube. It's not on Disney Plus. I looked, and there's a scene where Ewan McGregor comes in for like his makeup test, and George Lucas's son was there, and they're like buzzing part of Ewan's hair to like make him fit the Obi-Wan character. And George Lucas's like 10-year-old son was like, "What happens if they cut your hair too short?" And Ewan McGregor just goes, well, and if that happens, your dad can wear the wig and play the part. And I was like, holy shit.
The fuck with my man's hair?
They also did the actor for Jar Jar Binks, Ahmed Best, real dirty. I think I talked about this earlier. If you look at the bottom of the doc, Ahmed Best is a good-looking dude, and they just put him in this fucking nasty Jar Jar costume for all of filming. I think I talked about this already, but yeah, this picture is a sight to see. And if you want to, for people listening, if you want to see it, just type in like Ahmed Best Jar Jar costume, and you'll see it's fucking stupid.
Try to post it when the episode comes out, so somebody has it, so people can at least see it before they watch this or listen to this.
Also, yeah. Also, at one point during the doc, George tells Frank Oz, the guy who does the puppeting work for Yoda, that they're always going to need him. That's a fucking lie. They only need his voice. I also have written down here that there's a lot of weird racial stuff in this movie. We've kind of talked about it. The Gungans are weird, kind of Jamaican, other language mixed together, and it's strange. Watto. I don't know if we want to talk about that one. If we want to touch that.
What is he supposed to be?
They're Asian, right?
Watto?
I think so.
Watto's people think he's a Jewish stereotype.
Oh, Watto. Okay, I thought you were talking about somebody else. Okay. Yep.
No.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Watto,
I
the
could
little
definitely
flying
see
guy.
people thinking that.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said earlier, the critics at the time were like also like this is a strange thing to do. A little bit about themes. There's a lot of Christian imagery in this movie, so much so that you think it was directed by Zack Snyder. Like I said, Anakin is a virgin birth. And so fun fact, let me pop this window up bigger so I can read this. Do you guys want to know what the Legends canon explanation for Anakin's virgin birth is?
Yes.
In the Darth Plagueis novel, and according to Wikipedia, in addition, although Darth Plagueis did attempt to influence midichlorians to create the ultimate Sith weapon along Darth Sidious, the experiment was ultimately a failure, and the midichlorians, sensing the Sith's inherent malevolent intent, not only refused to do so, but in retaliation conceived Anakin Skywalker in order to destroy the Sith once and for all.
What?
I mean, I don't know. Can we say kind of? That'd be spoiling.
That he kind of...
They kind of lived up to that?
Well, no, they do, and they do. He completes the prophecy, and
yeah,
they'll in Return of the Jedi. But also, this is such a weird thing that they were fucking around with midichlorians, which are a thing, and I didn't even mention in my plot explanation because they're that wild and never get brought up again.
Yeah, a lot of people like to say that the concept of midichlorian just kind of ruined Star Wars, and I was like, I don't think that was the nail in the coffin, but
no,
it was one of them.
It's definitely there, and people that's a valid criticism of these movies is that midichlorians are fucking dumb. But the fact that the midichlorians are sentient enough to A, rebel, and B, conceive a child with a woman? Strange. But again, that's Legends canon. That's not canon.
I didn't even know what midichlorians were.
Sorry, you cut out there.
I didn't even know what midichlorians were until
Just
right
now.
now.
Yeah. You're not missing much, bud. They're the things that control. They're like little blood people who do control the Force.
I don't know. Yeah, because I looked it up and now I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell is going on? It confused me more.
It's a dumb concept.
There's also a lot of Eastern influence with Jedi and their practices. Obviously, the Jedi are kind of like galactic samurai, but they also do Zen meditation. George Lucas pulls from all kinds of things, and I'm not saying it's problematic. This part isn't problematic, I don't think. I think it's fine to draw from things and be like, oh, this is cool. I'll just kind of influence this. That's fine. I forgot to say that Darth Maul looks like the devil, which is metal and cool as shit. But, like I said, let's talk about Attack of the Clones 2002.
Oh, yeah.
So, this movie starts with an assassination on Padme, who's the queen of Naboo. I forgot to mention that. She's not a handmaiden. That was a lie. She's an elected queen. She's an elected queen, though, which is a thing. So she's just the president of this planet, but they call her a queen. But it starts with an assassination plot. So the Jedi are like, oh, we're going to send two people to protect Padme. Of course, it's Anakin and Obi-Wan, because they already know her. And Anakin's super fucking creepy. And is like, I've thought about you every day for 10 years. Or however long the movie has been. And even in this movie, I think she's like, nah. I don't really... You're a Jedi. I'm a queen. This isn't gonna work.
And then he cuts that pear. It's game over.
Then he cuts that pear, and... I've never seen a pair
Force
of
to
underwear
feed
drop
her.
faster.
Oh.
And pair.
Does it
Oh,
go
I didn't even think about that one.
I'm glad that you did,
but-
because if you meant to do that, I was gonna hang up right here and I was done.
Yeah. I think you're fine.
Yeah, I'm good now.
Okay.
Dude, my internet,
You're-
right now, I don't know what's going on.
You're fine. But anyway, they go to... This is my favorite part of the movie. They go to protect Padme. And let me break this down for you, the assassination plot. There's a great TikTok that just searching like Padme assassination TikTok, and I think it should be up there. But basically, Darth Sidious wants to kill Padme. So he gets his dude, Count Dooku, to kill Padme. Count Dooku doesn't want to do it himself, so he gets a bounty hunter, Jango Fett, to kill Padme. Jango Fett doesn't want to do it, so he gets his changeling friend to do it. But she doesn't want to do it, so she sends a droid to do it. And if you, like, in the TikTok he goes, and if you really want to split hairs, the droid sends Bugs to do it. And then there's a big chase with the changeling, whose name I don't remember and is very unimportant, because she never shows up again, because she dies. There's a big chase, and if you want to get real shitty, why didn't Jango Fett kill Padme while the Obi-Wan and Anakin were chasing the changeling? I don't know. No one was there. Jar Jar was there, I think.
Jar Jar would have protected her.
He could have done us all a favor and killed Jar Jar. Yeah. They catch the changeling. Oh, hold on. I gotta find this guy's name. They chase him, and they chase the changeling into a bar. And there's this character named...
The Death Sticks.
It's a great name. The Death Sticks guy. Do you know his name?
Not off the top of my head.
Elan Sleaze Begano.
Sleaze Begano.
And Obi-Wan Jedi mind tricks him into changing his life and just turning it around. There's also like a weird scene where apparently the Jedi are just space cops, because Obi-Wan goes, like a bunch of people are like, oh, what's going on? And then he's like, step away, Jedi business. It's like, okay, cool. They're just...
Space police.
We kind of got that implication already, but they just show up. They can just do whatever they want because they have lightsabers in the Force.
Yes.
Yes, that's correct. How can you fight with someone who can just cut you in half? I don't know. They catch the changeling. Jango Fett kills the changeling. And now they have to track the dart that he used to kill the changeling. And this is where the plot gets goofy. If it wasn't goofy enough already. Obi-Wan tracks the dart, can't get any information on it, so he goes to Daxter Jaxter at his space diner, which is also currently my webcam background, but you guys, the audience can't see that. And for some reason, Daxter Jaxter just knows immediately where to find because he knows the bolts are made by Kaminoans. So he's like, oh, you gotta go here. And so Obi-Wan says, thanks, bud. Thanks, Goro, my friend. And goes to the Jedi Archive to try and find Kamino. It's not there. It's not in the maps. So he tries to ask Yoda, and Yoda asks a bunch of little kids. And the one little kid is right. And he's like, oh, someone deleted it from the archives. Because, of course, the Jedi Archives can't be incomplete. That's fucking impossible. So, I don't remember how he finds... I really don't remember. Oh, because he says... Oh, well, there's a gravitational pull here. You can see it on the stars, so there's got to be a planet in the middle of there. So that's how they find it.
Science.
And, yeah, one of the kids comes up with that. And so... I don't remember what Anakin takes Padme to Naboo to hide. While Obi-Wan goes to find Kamino, the clone planet. And... there's some weird deleted scenes for this movie that are on Disney Plus, and I suggest everyone go out and watch them. Like the fact that Padme's family, even though she's the queen, just lives on a fucking street in a house that you can just walk up to the front door in, and then it opens up onto this big private lake in the back. Also, her dad is just like a trade rep, I think, but she's a queen. His 19-year-old daughter is a queen, or sorry, 24 by this point, 24-year-old daughter is a queen, and he's just like a trade rep for the planet. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it makes sense. Don't question it.
They elected a 14-year-old to be queen.
Yeah, I don't see the issue.
Neither do I.
He just couldn't handle the stress of being king, so he's like, you be queen, and I'll just trade stuff.
It's all in
over
deleted
here.
scenes, so I guess none of it's canon because it's on the cutting room floor.
Okay.
True.
I think the tattoo, it's all cut out in this movie. There's a weird romance subplot with Anakin Padme again, where they're like, he's trying to Mac, even though he's older now, but she's still like, I'm a queen, you're a Jedi, we can't really do this, you can't have attachments like that, but he's like, but what if?
He's like, I can't have attachments, but I can still bone.
And, there's that pear scene that we were talking about where he cuts a pear with the Force and then levitates it to her. Very, 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 very strange.
Chad move.
There's also a scene where he's like, they kiss, and he's like, was that your first kiss? And she's like, no.
She's like, what the fuck? No, I'm not a
so
loser.
He's like,
I've been fucking everybody, bitch. I'm 24.
So he's like,
I'm fucking around.
He's like, oh, who was it? And she tells him like, oh, she had like this like minor fling with some guy when she was like 16 or something.
Then he went and killed him.
And he's like, don't talk about this. It's like, you asked.
That's a red flag.
Yeah, he's like fucking nagging her, and he's like, no.
It's a fucking red flag there, buddy.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay, bud. This movie's like wild with this shit. Where it's just like Anakin has this very skewed view of reality, even though he's fundamentally a good person who wants to like free slaves and like help people, even though that's not what the Jedi want him to do. At the same time, Obi-Wan finds the Camino and finds out that deceased Jedi Master Sifo Dyas apparently commissioned an army of 1 million clones 10 years ago. And they're all
supposed to be like a terracotta army thing.
Probably.
That's the only thing I don't know. Following the Eastern
good,
in the clone.
That's a I
in
like
the Clone Wars TV show, I think they talk about how Darth Plagueis like bankrolled this whole thing because he's like, oh, it's the long game. We give the Republican army, and then we gotta make it not a republic.
We gotta hold the fucking clone stock. We're gonna send it to the moon. It's the long game.
The moon of Camino. Camino's a planet, though. I don't think it has a moon. But they're all clones of Jango Fett, a bounty hunter that we talked about earlier in the movie. Except there's one clone who's just a little kid, and he calls him his son Boba, and whoa, that's a cool reference to the original films.
Is it just a reference?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, yes, because he doesn't appear ever again in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
There's a big space battle that kind of mirrors the asteroid fight with Boba Fett in Empire. Between him and Jango Fett and Obi-Wan. What's that look of quizzical?
Oh,
but
sorry, my hip had to pop.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
It, you know,
I thought you were thinking real hard about the fight from Empire. Yeah, there's like a lot of stuff that mirrors Empire in this movie because it's the second movie, and I don't know if George is doing that on purpose. He has to be.
Oh, I never thought about that actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And Obi-Wan gets captured, I think. Yeah, he does, because he gets taken to Geonosis then. Or no. He puts a tracker on Jango's ship, follows Jango to Geonosis, and gets captured there. Sorry. In the meantime, Anakin's been having nightmares, and they're about his mom, Shmi, who was left behind on Tatooine when they left in the last movie. She's still a slave, as far as he knows, which is rough. And so he's like, well, I'm having these weird nightmares. I want to go back home, see what's going on. So they do. Him and Padme go to Tatooine. And turns out Watto's down on his luck. had to sell Shmi, has no other slaves. Good. and there's like this weirdly like kind of not warm moment, but like there's this moment of good animation on Watto where he's like slowly recognizes Anakin, and his face kind of lights up from like this sad, almost like, you know, like I said, he's down on his luck, and then just like lights up because Anakin was the only thing keeping him going, I guess, because Anakin could fix machines, and that's how they made money. And
so he's just like, I'm about to make money again.
That's the only reason they're treated like decently well in the first movies, because Anakin could fix machines. And he like Watto has this moment of like, oh my god, Anakin. But then he's like, oh no, I sold your mom. Well, some guy bought her freedom and then married her, which is the whole fucking can of beans on its own.
I don't know if that's getting.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
I don't think you, like, according to something, I don't know if it's the script, but there's like a thing where it's like, oh, Owen, not Owen. Owen's the son. I don't remember the guy's name. He was like going through the spaceport, and he fell in love with Shmi as soon as he saw her, and he's like bought her freedom and married her, and it's like, I don't know about this
Maybe
one, Chief.
Maybe he gave her like the option to be like, hey, you know, if you want to go
could be.
like,
I don't
hang
know.
out with other people, it's fine, but like,
I don't know. I know
cool.
I know according to the StarWars.com website, which has now been changed, it says something along the lines of he freed her and then made her his bride. Which is, that phrase is strange.
Debatably freed her.
Yes. So Anakin and Padme go to meet this new family, but she's not there either. She got abducted by Tusken Raiders, who up until this point were called Sand People, and this movie came out in 2002. So can't say that anymore. And so Anakin kills the Tusken Raiders. All of them. Not just the men. The women and the children, too.
I remember it being
He slaughters them like animals, because that's what they are. They were animals.
Yeah, I remember it being pretty like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Yeah, this is like the first thing we see of Anakin kind of giving into anger, which is a dark side thing to do. That's a thing evil people do.
It's bad.
And Shmi dies. He finds her. Shmi dies, and then he buries her back at the. I don't remember their last name. It's just Owen and Beru, who are going to become important characters in the fourth movie for a brief amount of time. And I think they bury her there, and then they also mentioned they've lost something like 50 people trying to get her back from the Tusken Raiders, which is like,
for one person.
Yeah, I think that's why they eventually gave up. They're like, we're not gonna lose more people.
Man, this is some great Dodo Wars bullshit. You really mean to tell me 50 people couldn't take on those Tusken Raiders?
Did they all go at the
Apparently
same
not.
time, or did they go one by one?
Oh, they just charged in a straight line. I don't know.
That's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, but this is the first time we see Anakin giving into the dark side. Obi-Wan gives off a distress beacon or something, so they race off to rescue him. There's a big thing in a droid factory, which kind of sucks. It doesn't look good. The sounds are pretty fun. Like, in the one documentary, there's a thing on Disney Plus. It's like a 5-minute thing about how the sound design in Attack of the Clones, how it's like real steel presses that they're using for those noises, which is cool as shit. But it just kind of looks bad, and it's just boring, I think.
I remember like when I was younger, when this first came out, that I remember it being a really cool scene, but then rewatching it, yeah, it was just the sound.
No, it just happens.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a big dumb thing through like a factory. But anyway, they rescue Obi-Wan. They get to this call. They get caught again, had to fight in this Colosseum, and then the New Republic show. Or it's not the New Republic. Well, maybe it is the New Republic, but anyway, because there is the old Republic. I think this is the New Republic at this point. The New Republic army shows up with all their clones, and the Jedi have seamlessly become part of the military-industrial complex by this point. Yoda's immediately called General Yoda. He's immediately given commands, and like, he's not this sagely wisdom Jedi anymore. He's immediately on the battlefield. He knows tactics. And there's a big arena scene. They take down these two kind of ball droids. I don't know what to call. I don't know if they have a technical designation. They're just two huge balls that walk, I think. And Padme falls out of one of the gunships while they're going to fight Count Dooku. Anakin and Obi-Wan fight Count Dooku. Anakin gets his hand cut off. Count Dooku fights Yoda. Count Dooku almost kills Obi-Wan with a pillar, which distracts Yoda long enough for Count Dooku to escape. And then Yoda has a line about "Begun the Clone Wars have." Cool. What a strange line. They already established the name of this war ahead of time. And then I guess Yoda can see the future. No, fuck off. I don't care. Yoda can't. Maybe he can, maybe he can't. The fucking Jedi powers are stupid. Like I talked about earlier, it happens a lot in this movie. I think specifically in this movie they say something along the lines of, "Oh, we can't see the future like we used to, the Jedi as a whole, and we don't know why. But Anakin can. And that's why he's the chosen one." But they're all just fucking sitting on, like I said, they're just sitting on their fucking hands doing nothing about it. Not trying to figure out like who this Darth Sidious person is, because apparently they know there's a Darth Sidious, but they just don't know who he is. It's fucking. The Jedi suck in these movies, I'm not gonna lie.
This is the movie.
They just don't.
Sorry. I was just gonna say, this is also the movie where they start jumping around like fucking maniacs too.
Yes.
Like the first they didn't, but this one they definitely started going nuts.
There were some acrobatics in the first one, but they weren't fucking like jumping off walls and shit like in this movie. Yoda wasn't doing flips and shit like in this movie.
Yeah, Yoda's like,
because Yoda was still a puppet. I didn't mention that, but between like I said, George Lucas told Frank Oz they'd always need him. That's a fucking lie. Immediately they made Yoda CG as soon as it was convenient.
Well, how was he supposed to flip around the room?
Good question.
Just throw the fucking doll.
Because you can't throw the puppet, make him yeah. That's basically how this movie ends, and it's a strange one. I'm gonna have to rush to the next one because we're getting up there. I was worried this would be too short of an episode.
A little heavy, but not too bad.
No, we'll be fine. Oh yeah, the writing room for this movie originally called the film Jar Jar's Great Adventure as a joke, due to the negative reception the character received in the first film. I wish they hadn't. Wish they hadn't called it that, even though it wasn't the real name. There's also it's probably a Legends canon because it was a comic, where everyone hates Jar Jar so much that his father tried to kill himself because of it.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Isn't his dad's name like fucking like Tim or Tom or something fucking like really?
Yeah, it's some George R. Binks. And he's like the picture they have on him looks like the cover of like Moby Dick on the Wikipedia.
I'm just thinking of like George R. Martin, George R. Binks.
It could be. It could very well be. Let me see. Let's see the. Oh, it doesn't say. Is this a Legends character? It doesn't say that this is a Legends character. This character may be,
Yeah, there's a picture when you
look
him up
this
of
is
him putting a gun to his head.
I think this is... Yep. Mm-hmm. He was a whaler, according to this. It's so fucking stupid. Anyway. Lucas hadn't originally meant for the clones in the quote-unquote Clone Wars to be the clone army we see in this movie. In the original Empire script, Yeah, because that's when Lando shows up as Empire. He'd envisioned a planet of clones. And that was the planet that went to war with the Republic during the Clone Wars. Then he changed that. I think a planet full of clones is pretty cool. It's like a Star Trek episode. This weird subservient army isn't as cool. For themes for this movie, all I have is Palpatine as Hitler, Augustus, the first emperor of Rome, and Napoleon all rolled into one. It's kind of true.
Yeah.
Because in this movie, Palpatine does like give himself emergency powers, much like our guy Adolf did.
Not our guy.
And that kind of not our guy.
Not our guy.
Let me make that clear. Let me make that clear. I was saying that facetiously. He's not our guy. He's not not my chancellor.
Same.
Now we're on to Revenge of the Sith, where things get even more authoritarian and weird. I didn't talk about it, but in Attack of the Clones, there's this debate between, like, political debate between Padme and Anakin, where Padme's like, well, we can't really tell people what to do. That's kind of fucked up. And Anakin just goes, well, but what if we could? So Anakin kind of shows some signs of being like he'd be okay with the fascist government if he was part of it.
I just like, it's like, but wait. Maybe we just could do that.
Yeah, maybe the Jedi could just tell people what to do, because we do kill people quite regularly.
We have lightsabers, and we can push people.
Yeah.
Maybe we could just do it.
Maybe we could be more than just space detectives. Now we're on to Revenge of the Sith, and John is frozen again, so I'm gonna keep talking. Is he gonna come back? Oh,
back.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Just ignore me. Just keep going. If I lag out, just keep going with your story.
Revenge of the Sith picks up where so between Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith, there was an animated series released by Jordan Tartakovsky, the guy who did Samurai Jack and had stuff to do with Powerpuff Girls on Cartoon Network, which basically was a lead-up series to this movie, to the point where it specifically ends during the space battle this movie picks up in, where Emperor Palpatine has been, not Emperor yet, Chancellor Palpatine has been abducted by Count Dooku, and they had to get him back because they still think he's a good guy, even though he orchestrated the whole thing. And there's a big space battle, which is cool. They get onto a droid ship. They fight Count Dooku, and Anakin kills Count Dooku, which is another, hey, he's going to the dark side thing. And
it's a big no-no.
Then there's a bunch of... Then he gets assigned to be... they fight General Grievous very, very briefly before crash landing the Separatist ship on Coruscant, which... And it's on an airstrip? Why a spacefaring planet needs an airstrip, I don't know. But it's there.
Don't ask questions.
Because in the same movie, they show a fucking spaceport. Okay. Anakin is assigned to be Palpatine's bodyguard. It turned... at the end of Attack of the Clones, this is important. Anakin and Padme get married. In secret.
What? That's another big no-no.
That's another big no-no in the Jedi. You can't have sex.
No, you can have sex.
Well,
That was like a thing.
You just can't get married.
Like, I forget who, but like somebody explained it. Like, somehow, like, I guess, yeah, like that's like an actual thing. Like, the Jedi can have sex, but like they can't.
Well, apparently, because in like I think it's the Clone Wars series, Obi-Wan is just flirty as fuck.
Yeah.
With like every woman he crosses paths with.
Yeah, like they're not like they don't have to be like celibate, but like they can't.
Yeah, they just can't form attachments.
Yeah.
So like if you just fuck bone down on some rando on a different planet and then leave, you're good. You're fine. then I'm trying to remember what happens in this movie. I've seen it so much, but I don't remember. Anakin gets assigned to be bodyguard. There's some more weird political talk between him and Padme. Obi-Wan goes off to fight a war, I think.
Yeah, against General Grievous, right?
Yeah, he goes. Yes.
Because then he goes,
they're like, oh, he
"Hello
went to
there."
this.
He goes the lizard.
They find General Grievous went to this system, and they're like, that man's up to no good, even though he's more machine than lizard man at this point. So they send him off to do that, and there's this whole thing about Anakin guarding Palpatine, and Palpatine's at a play, and he tells him about Darth Plagueis and how Anakin's been having dreams of Padme dying, and wouldn't it be cool if you could use the Force to save her? But that's not a thing Jedi do. Maybe it'd be cool if you weren't a Jedi anymore, huh?
Oh.
And there's a whole bunch of fighting on Kashyyyk and with Kenobi on whatever the planet he's on called. 10 years ago, I could have told you the exact name of the planet that Obi-Wan Kenobi was fighting on. I can't do that today. He kills General Grievous. There's some pretty cool scenes in this movie during like the war stuff. I remember it being like, oh, this is fucking cool looking. Chewbacca, I think, is in the Kashyyyk scenes, which is weird, but Wookiees are super old, so it's fine. There's also a cut. I was going to talk about this later, but why not put it in now? A 10-year-old Han Solo was also supposed to be on Kashyyyk, but they cut it. Like, it was during writing, George Lucas had written that in, then he was like, I don't want to do this one, actually. But there's still an Easter egg of the Millennium Falcon coming into the Coruscant spaceport in the background, which is a fucking thing that blew my mind as a child. And then even that kind of gets retconned. So, whatever.
Actually, we don't want this in here.
And then it turns out that Palpatine is in control of the army the whole time, and he orders the clones to kill all the Jedi during Order 66.
Then they get cool new outfits.
Well, yes.
Rounder helmets.
And there's a bunch of cutscenes during this too, where Anakin kills like Shaak Ti. I don't know if you guys. I don't think John will know who Shaak Ti is, but Quentin might.
Isn't that the Twi'lek?
She's not the Twi'lek. She's the like red one with like the weird head thing.
Oh, the thing that's kind of like the Twi'lek.
It's kind of like a Twi'lek, but it's like bigger head things.
Yeah.
There's a scene of her like meditating at the temple, and Anakin just stabs her in the back. And I can see why they cut that scene. You can see it on Disney Plus. It's there. There's a lot of deleted scenes from this one too that are like animatics or like partially put together scenes where like like they only had the head for the up for the actors, and they didn't animate the rest, so it's just Anakin coming up behind her, stabbing her, and then like the scene ends. I was like, I can kind of see how they wouldn't want in a movie that's primarily marketed to kids because they're still selling so much merch. You don't want him just like your good guy. Well, he's a bad guy at this point. He's turned, just stabbing someone in the back. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, because
even though in the same scene he kills children,
but they don't show it.
They don't show it.
So...
It's just he walks into a room. He walks into the Jedi Council room, and all the younglings are hiding, and they're like, "Oh, Master Skywalker, what are we going to do?"
Like,
and there's just a shot of his face, and then it's a shot of his hand holding his lightsaber, and he ignites his lightsaber.
And then he's like, "Line up, kiddos," and then he just like holds his lightsaber out horizontally, and he like turns it on, and it goes through like 5 of their heads, and you see all of it.
It's probably George Lucas. No, I don't think George Lucas would have. George Lucas still wanted this movie to be for kids because they were selling so much product. But yeah, and then there's a big dramatic fight on Mustafar, where people draw a lot of like Faustian parallels with Anakin of like, oh, he sold his soul to the devil and now he's in hell. And Obi-Wan wins the duel. He force chokes Padme, but it doesn't kill her. That's important. She doesn't die from that. But she's pregnant at this point. I think it's been told. And Obi-Wan wins the duel and cuts off both of his Anakin's legs and one of his arms, I think. Yes. And leaves him there to burn in the lava because you were my brother. You were supposed to bring balance to the Force.
You were my brother.
And then the Emperor finds him. Oh, also Anakin fucking massacres the Trade Federation. I forgot to mention that. And then the movie kind of... Well, no. They rebuild Anakin into Darth Vader. That's the end of the movie. But before that, there's a whole thing about all these people going into hiding because the Chancellor has enacted even more emergency powers and renamed the New Galactic Republic to be the Galactic Empire.
You forgot about Padme's babies.
Oh yeah, they haven't happened yet. After everyone's going into hiding, Padme is brought to this ship. It's a ship, yeah. And is like, oh, she delivers the babies and then dies. But she names them Luke and Leia. Fun, cool. What a tie-in. Even though we knew it was coming the whole fucking time. And then she dies. But not from the Force choke. No. She dies of a broken heart. She gives up on living.
Even though she just gave birth to 2 babies.
Yeah.
Like, that's so...
Well, if her...
You know what? Fuck my kids, actually. I'm done.
Well,
fuck
if her little fuckboy husband isn't going to be around, I don't think she wants to live anymore.
And her dying words were, send my daughter to be a princess and send my son to live in the fucking desert.
Just like his
Which
father.
we didn't bring this up. Why didn't Anakin think to look for Luke on Tatooine? He knows he has personally, Darth Vader knows he has family on Tatooine. He didn't think to look there.
Maybe.
Apparently he didn't know about Beru and Owen.
Maybe he...
I think the implication is that Obi-Wan is on Tatooine and clouding the presences on Tatooine.
I think I've heard that before, yeah.
I mean,
I think that's supposed to be the implication, or maybe even the confirmed thing in, like, Rebels, the TV show. I don't know.
He also could just be, like, he could know.
Yeah,
because he does
true.
try to get Luke to come to the dark side at one point. Like, maybe that's his plan, is like, oh, he'll just grow up.
I mean, that doesn't stop him from murking Leia's entire adopted family.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's her adopted family, not her.
Yeah, Leia's adopted by Bail Organa and his family and becomes a princess on Alderaan. And Luke's sent off to live with Owen and Beru on Tatooine as moisture farmers.
Gotta farm fucking water droplets.
The movie ends with Obi-Wan giving baby Luke to Owen and Beru, and then there's this big wide shot of the twin moons of twin suns of Tatooine setting, and then it goes da 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 da. I can't do that because Disney will kill us.
And then not let us use a Spider-Man tombstone.
Didn't in the original one for the Tatooine shot of the 2 suns, didn't George Lucas do that practically with like the
2 real suns?
No, not 2 real suns. It was like
He actually blew up a nuke in orbit. He got the permission for...
No, it was like the reflection off of like the...
That's probably true.
I hate
a lot of them
much. I'm looking at it because I swear to God.
A lot of the first movies, my voice is going, fuck. A lot of the original trilogy was like practical work when it was really impressive. Like all the ships were miniatures. And like the ships still look pretty cool in the new ones, even though they're all CG. There's some definite like, oh, these ships just look like Star Destroyers, and that's completely on purpose. I didn't bring up the Duel of the Fates. You know the big Duel of the Fates song at the end of Phantom Menace? That's got, like... It's written by John Williams, who wrote all of the Star Wars music. I think it's John Williams. I'm gonna fucking... Star Wars music, man.
Star Wars music, man.
John Williams. Okay, I was right. He wrote... I think he wrote basically all the music for Star Wars. And he, like, it worked in, like, parts of the Imperial March into Duel of the Fates, which he says is, like, Anakin's theme. Because it's the duel between Anakin's 2 fates of light and dark. Which is cool. It's cool as shit. Some of this stuff in these movies are cool as shit, like I said. Other parts of it are just doo-doo dog shit.
There are some redeeming factors.
Oh, yeah. Apparently Lucas also wanted to write a scene where Palpatine basically said what's now Legends canon, that he used Metachlorians to conceive Anakin, making him his father, thus even more paralleling the reveal in Empire Strikes Back with Luke and Darth Vader. But he didn't do that. He cut that one out, thank God.
Yeah, that would have been a dumb one.
The art team for Episode 3 actually used the holiday special for references for what Kashyyyk should look like. And that's fucking hilarious to me. They had no reference other than this really bad holiday thing that no one liked. And they used it,
Yeah, we're gonna go with this.
We're gonna use this for reference. Obviously, they were just like, oh, big trees. And then that got even more stuff and like later things where it's like, oh, the life trees of Kashyyyk. Whatever. There's some more cut stuff that leads into A New Hope. Like, there was originally a meeting between Bail Organa, Padme, and Mon Mothma to discuss organizing an alliance that would stop Palpatine from furthering his emergency powers. Oh my god, here we're back at fucking Mothman. Which is basically the foundation for the Rebel Alliance 20 years beforehand. There's a deleted scene, I don't know if it's on Disney Plus, but there's a deleted scene of Yoda self-exiling himself to Dagobah. And like I said, like there's a bunch of deleted scenes on Disney Plus, which I was really surprised. I guess since they were probably on the DVDs, and they were just like, yeah, just throw them on there. Because all the ones from Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. Oh, that's the right movie title. Why did I think it was called something else? They're all on there. They're, like I said, check them out. They're pretty cool. So this movie was 2006, right? Is that what I said?
Yes.
Where's the fucking thing at in this? 2005. So I don't know when this speech was given, but Anakin at one point says, "If you're not with me, you're against me," which is pretty clearly an allusion to George W. Bush's "If you're not with us, you're against us" speech when he was talking about the War on Terror. So that one was fun.
Another fun thing I never realized.
George Lucas is like very clear but not clear about his like political stances on like war and things like that. He's a weird man. Yes. In the beginning documentary, he was also like, well, at the very beginning of it, he goes, well, Jar Jar's for the kids. We got to get Jar Jar, right?
Jar Jar's for the kids.
No fucking kid liked Jar Jar. Maybe they thought he was funny, but he definitely wasn't the fucking cool character that everyone loved. Did you find anything, John? You look
I can't fucking find it. I swear to God, it was like a weird point where it was like almost like a time of year where you could see on the horizon, you could see a reflection of the sun. So he was able to like get both suns. And I can't find the exact article that I read it from. All I can find is how a planet can't have two suns because it would be too hot.
Yeah, no, it's not possible. Yeah. Well, that's why it's a desert planet.
It'd still be too hot. It'd be way too fucking hot.
Do you know how Tusken Raiders got their name? Because it's kind of fucked up.
How?
I don't know if this isn't in the Legends canon or if it's in like one of the shows, but the first colony on Tatooine, when the humans, they call them humans, but they're just alien people because it's not Earth, but they call them humans in Star Wars. When they first showed up to Tatooine, because the Tusken Raiders are the native species to Tatooine. When the first human colonists showed up, the first colony was named Tusken. And the Tusken Raiders are thus named because they raided and massacred the colony of Tusken.
Huh.
So there's some like native versus colonizer stuff going on in these movies.
I did not know that either.
Yeah, that's like an I don't know if it's extended universe. I think it might be in Rebels. I've read that has been talked about. So now I guess we're just in the open discussion to territory unless you guys have anything else to talk about.
No, but I'm gonna find this goddamn article
Other
for
than
next
John
time.
desperately trying to find this thing about the Suns.
I'm gonna find it, and I'll talk about it next
John
time.
needs to know about the Suns.
Like
I feel like I'm going
I
crazy.
realize
Like-
we've kind of ran. We've run like an hour, and I could talk for a lot longer about these movies. And maybe one day I will. Maybe one day I'll just do a fucking full deep dive into all of them. Who knows?
I was about to say, I don't feel like you could do like, or we could do like an episode
per
for,
movie.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And maybe one day we will. I don't know. So I guess right now I just have favorite movie, favorite moment / scene, and favorite character from any of the 3 movies. Whatever you guys want.
I can run
I
through
guess
mine
I'll-
real quick. I have mine written
Okay.
down. My favorite movie in the trilogy is Phantom Menace because of Jar Jar Binks.
Fucking-
I'm
Yep,
just kidding.
okay.
I'm just kidding. No, it's because of Liam Neeson. I like Qui-Gon a lot.
That's fair. Qui-Gon's a cool fucking
Yeah,
Jedi.
I
And
really-
they just were like,
They did him dirty.
get him out of here.
But my favorite moment is definitely the hello there, just because it's great. Just any moment, if you want to say hello, you just say it just like Ian McGregor, and it's great.
Hello there.
Hello there. And then my favorite character is definitely Obi-Wan Kenobi. It always has been.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think my favorite probably
Come on, say
Attack
something
of the
like your dad.
Clones.
I was gonna
My
say
dad's
something that
probably gonna
makes
be
you.
fucking mad.
Yep.
Yeah, he's not
I
gonna
was
be
gonna
happy
say.
about that answer. But I don't know. It's like one of those things. Like it was like the first Star Wars movie I saw like in the theaters as a kid. So like I have fond
I
memories
don't remember
of
if
it.
I really don't. I don't think I did see any of these. I remember seeing them like when the library got them on DVD. I would rent them immediately.
But I saw Revenge of the Sith in a Jedi costume.
That's fucking badass. I wish I had.
Was your dad in costume too?
No, I was the only fucking person in costume. It was mortifying. It was terrible. I was like 8 or 9.
Yeah, this movie came out in 2005, so you would have been like 9 or so.
Yeah, dude. Oh god, it was yeah. But yeah, my favorite moment though, I really love the entirety of the pod racing scene.
It's not bad. Like,
I think it's fun. I don't know.
it's silly as shit, but yeah, no, it's fun because it's just like. I think at one point, Jabba the Hutt's just asleep in the middle of the fucking race.
Yeah, was that? I want to feel like that. I feel like that was like added in like the
Probably.
digital cuts, wasn't it? Or no? Honestly, I don't remember.
Dude, I don't remember. At this point, they were like half digital, half
Yeah,
practical.
exactly. They've done so many weird like re-edits to the movies.
So, oh
that,
my
like,
god, yeah,
Sometimes I don't remember what is original and what isn't.
like the McClunky cut.
McClunky. Yeah. Anyways, I don't. I'd have to say Darth Maul is probably. I'm pretty much just going all Phantom Menace, aren't I, right now?
That's fair.
Darth Maul's a fucking badass, dude. He only needs to say like 8 words to be one of the best Siths in the entire series.
And he's the only. Maybe I think there might be one other Zabrakian that's ever shown in any of the movies. I think he might be the only one. There's either one more or he's the only one.
I feel like there might be like just like a random background character.
I think there's like a random background Jedi that is, but I don't remember exactly.
That sounds right to me.
It could have been one of those random Jedi that show up during like the Coliseum scene where I didn't talk about how Mace Windu absolutely murks Jango Fett.
Fucking slices his head right off.
There's a lot I forgot to mention, but like I said, I was gonna do them from memory, and I did, and I forgot a lot.
There's a lot to talk about.
For me,
that only opens us to do this in depth later on if we want to.
Yeah, I would absolutely. For me, my favorite movie is probably Revenge of the Sith. I watched it a lot, and I mean a lot. I probably watched it over 20 times when I was like a early teen to 10-year-old. My favorite moments I think the choreography and stunt work in the final duel scene in Phantom Menace is fucking great.
Yes.
Because there's even there's a scene of like Ewan McGregor hitting the crash pad during like the last like bit of his filming. He hops up and he's like, "Fuck yeah, I was in Star Wars" or something like that. And my favorite character aesthetically is General Grievous, but otherwise, also aesthetically and story wise is Darth Maul. He's just fucking cool. Like I didn't like him a lot as a kid, but as on rewatch, I was like, dude, this fucking guy is cool. He just like shows up, doesn't say, he's just like super good at what he does.
I really like that. Like there's this meme. I think it started going around like this year, where it's like from the Phantom Menace, where the first interaction between Maul and Qui-Gon in the desert.
Tatooine. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Darth Maul's coming in. He has no clue who Anakin is at this point.
Yep.
And he just tries to fucking run him down. Like I just love how he's just like, doesn't fucking matter. I'm just out to kill people.
True Sith
yeah,
boy.
That's it's just a little Sith boy.
He's just a little Sith boy.
Actually,
Actually, if Darth Maul killed Anakin, would he like? No, I guess Anakin was the savior in the end, or whatever.
okay, so the whole savior thing is kind of like debatable.
It's debatable
because they say he's supposed to bring balance to the Force. How can there be balance if it's just the lights? I think they talk about this too in like the later movies. Is that they just completely skewed the balance because they just like got rid of the dark side and now there's only the good people. So it's like there's no balance if you don't have both.
Well, that and it kind of makes him not the savior because they had to have more movies about.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, so they kind of took away that powerful impact that it's like, oh, he really was the true savior of the universe.
And then at the end of the Skywalker trilogy where Rey's like the gray Jedi, where she's like half boobed. It's fucking stupid.
I guess it's true balance.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. But those movies are even worse than these. So just conclusion, wrap up. I loved these movies as a kid, which is kind of why I decided to cover them for this podcast. And then I became disillusioned with them as a late to mid teenager because I was like looking back on them, I was like, some of this stuff kind of sucks. And now as an adult, I think they're fine. Yeah, I was like, and then like I've rewatched them since, and I was like, yeah, they're fine. I can see what they were going for, and I can see how they did a big hit and miss, but whatever. They tried. There's some cool shit in there, but there's also a lot of dumb shit. I wish there was more of like the cool war scenes or like the politics scenes, but not the ones with Jar Jar in them, where Jar Jar is the deciding vote to give Palpatine emergency powers. And then I wish there was just more cool like battle stuff that wasn't flipping around. Like the war stuff with just the clones and the droids is cool as shit. Where the Jedi are like flipping around and doing dumb shit get that shit out of here.
Because there's no choreographed shit in the later ones. They're just literally, it's all CG, them flipping around. Like in the first one, in the Phantom Menace, and then the original trilogy, it was all
and
like
it's like very deliberate.
Yeah,
it's almost like old, and the original trilogy is very clearly inspired by like old Akira. I'm gonna say it wrong. Akira Kurosawa samurai movies, to the point where A New Hope is basically just Hidden Fortress, but it's fine. It's a completely different movie, but it's basically the same plot beats. And So it's all like very slow, methodic fighting because it's inspired by samurai movies. And then, like we said at the very top of the show, like they just turn into ninjas. They're doing like flips and shit. They're like Beijing cinema.
Yeah.
It's silly. The story behind Samuel L. Jackson and Mace Windu's lightsaber is pretty good. I'll just give this one last little anecdote. They were basically like on set, and George Lucas came over to be like, "Hey, like how's everything going?" He's like, "So who gets to choose my lightsaber color?" And George was like, "Well, it's kind of pre-established. The Jedi get blue and green, and the Sith get red." And Samuel L. Jackson was like, "But what if I got purple?" So they gave him a purple lightsaber.
Well, he wanted to be able to see himself in the fight scenes because they were so chaotic in some of them.
Yeah.
That was like one of the big reasons he wanted a different color too. And then purple's his favorite color. I mean, you watch any of his movies and he has some kind of purple on him.
I think he was also hyped just to be the first Black Jedi in those movies.
Probably. So. He just wanted to go all in.
And then he gets thrown out a window.
Yeah, really anticlimactically fucking.
He has the dumbest death in the whole of all.
He
the
deserved
Jedi.
better. I wish he would have got decapitated or cut up or stabbed or something more.
But no, he just gets thrown out a window, which is. I'm not going to go into the big rant, but in episode 2, we've established that Jedi can just fall huge distances and land on shit and be fine. It happens during the car chase, where Anakin like jumps off this thing and like lands and is completely fine. Why couldn't Mace Windu just do that?
Maybe he did. Maybe he's still alive to this day.
What if in Legends?
Actually, before they revealed Snoke, the big theory was that it was Mace Windu.
Is that true?
Yes. They said the reason his skin looked like that was because it lost pigmentation.
Not because he was a dumb clone or anything.
And then, what else? I don't remember. But yeah, that was like a really big fan theory that Mace Windu survived and became Snoke.
I would have rather that. Honestly.
Isn't Snoke like a... Is Snoke his own thing, or was he just like a... That's a discussion for a different day.
Yeah,
we'll do
honestly,
that trilogy and talk about it later.
There's just like a footnote. Yes.
Yes, so I think that's it for... Sorry, I just saw a picture of old Luke Skywalker on the Wikipedia, and it's... We'll do some plugs. I'll go first because I'm at the top of the list, and I just don't care. You can find my letterbox at Timmy C. I think the most recent movie I either most recently reviewed Godzilla vs. Kong or Devil All the Time. I don't remember which was most recent because I've watched both of those recently. Devil All the Time is a decent movie. Give that one a watch. Don't watch... If you want to watch Kong Skull Island, skip through all the fucking boring shit. And everything else, I'm at Hot Pink Waffles. There we go.
I am on Twitter at Gondola Driver. That's it.
Have you ever driven a gondola, though? Would you ever drive one?
You?
No, I haven't. I've never.
It's his profession. It's in the name. You can't... It's the internet. He can't lie about it.
Yeah, I want to get a gondola and have him...
Where are we going to float it?
I don't know.
Down the Kankakee?
Maybe. And I want a picture of him.
Drive a gondola, and I'll drive your gondola.
I want a picture of him driving a gondola. That's all.
You just
we got to have someone playing the... What's that thing called? Accordion.
You can do that. I feel like that's a skill you would
stick
have.
In the water, bro. How hard could it be?
No.
You know how to play harmonica.
It's got a little piano. I know how to play harmonica poorly, but the accordion also has a tiny little piano on it that I don't know anything about.
Oh, shit. Well, you can find me at jmergs on everything if you want to look at me. Find me through that. And then the podcast, Rewind and Reload on everything now.
Yahoo.
Wahoo! Wait, sorry. No, let's make it relevant. Yee-hoo!
Are we done?
I think on that note, we are done.